Number 10. BrewDog. After raising over 19 million British pounds from fan donations, a Scottish company called BrewDog was officially on track. You might be wondering what drew so many people into supporting the business. Well, that's because it's a beer company. They actually claim to have some of the world's strongest beer. But that's not all. BrewDog prides themselves on their packaging, each bottle of their finest alcohol, which was first crafted in 2010 and lovingly nicknamed The End of History, comes with its own personal roadkill koozie. Forget those cheap insulated ones from Walmart. BrewDog's koozies are the real deal. They made 12 dressed-up little taxidermy squirrels to hold bottles of The End of History, and surprisingly, they sold out almost instantly. It looks as if the glass bottle is stuffed down the poor rodent's throat with its mouth wide open. The squirrel's eyes also seem as if they're filled with tears. These koozies are definitely not a gift you'd want to give to an animal lover. The company's top 10 donors, who each gave over $20,000, were also gifted a novelty bottle. They say that the alcohol has hints of juniper berries and nettle leaves, which actually sounds like a forest creature's diet. When asked to comment about the strange product, BrewDog said that there's a much bigger market for strange items like their taxidermy koozies than people realize. They also said that they can barely keep up with all their orders. They say they'll continue pushing boundaries and the scope of possibility with their future alcohol products. Number 9. DiedInHouse.com. Some cities like Boston in the United States were first established centuries ago. With so much history littering the streets, it's easy to wonder what could have happened in older buildings or homes. You also have to take this into consideration when buying a house. Many people are superstitious, so if something tragic like a homicide took place, it could drastically reduce the price of a property. Luckily, there's a company and website that can tell you exactly what went down at any address you want. It's called DiedInHouse.com, and it gives information on not only previous death, but also who the person was, the cause of their demise, people associated with them, and more. Despite the name and their specialty, Died in House also reports on past fire damage, sex offenders in the area, proximity to nearby graveyards, and other general property information. The site was first launched out of South Carolina back in 2013 and contains data on millions of homes in every U.S. state. On the About Us section of their website, they say that they're in the process of making the service available internationally. We can only wonder how difficult that would be, though, for countries like France or Italy, with thousands of years of history. Number 8. 3D Look. Technology is getting more advanced every single day, and recently, artificial intelligence has been making waves. AI capability has grown to the point that it's able to create works of art in seconds by scanning millions of digital images, write novels in the blink of an eye, and much more. Truly, its power has limitless possibilities. One company, founded and ran by Ukrainian CEO Vadim Rogovsky, aims to enhance customers' experiences through measurement and body scanning technology, similar to how AI looks at previously created material to come up with new inspiration. With 3D Look, consumers will be able to use their mobile device to scan their bodies and virtually try on clothing, get sizing recommendations, and optimize the shopping experience as a whole. After partnering with a jean company in New York called 1822 Denim, they saw that 30% less people returned products after using the 3D Look technology. Additionally, 90% of the people that used it were happy with their experience and felt that their recommendations truly suited them. While the tech is no doubt useful in the growing market of online consumerism, we can't help but wonder when things will go too far. After all, scanning our bodies to try on clothes does seem pretty dystopian. It's all for the sake of convenience, and in 3D Look's case, it's to make a profit. Number 7. GameCrush. Back in 2010, a startup called GameCrush was making headlines around the world. Their business model sounded fairly comical to the everyday person, but to their market demographic, male gamers, it was a dream come true. The startup aimed to match video game-loving men up with partners of the opposite sex to go on dates or talk online. Nowadays, it would be comparable to a cam site mixed with a social media site like Facebook. The founders of the company specifically stressed the point that their service and website wasn't meant for porn or anything sexually exploitive. They simply wanted to help people in the gaming community who were looking for a romantic partner. After an adult male created a profile, they could look at several women on the site who were referred to as playdates. There were photos of the girls, a short list of their hobbies, as well as the games they enjoyed playing. If a guy was interested in someone, he could send them a message or ask to video chat and play something together. The GameCrush website featured a small collection of multiplayer games that users could interact with. You might be wondering what it cost to sign up. Well, the company charged every man who made an account 60 cents a minute while on the website. Women were able to receive some of these profits for making a Playdate profile. Men could also become Playdates, but the demand just wasn't that high for them. The company no longer seems to be running. While the founders claimed they didn't want explicit content to be a part of their business, many customers and users had other ideas. The Huffington Post compared GameCrush to phone call sex lines that were all the rage during the 80s. The unmonitored video chats that took place were littered with inappropriate interactions. Luckily, there's more online dating services today than ever, so the fall of GameCrush isn't all that crushing if you catch our drift. Number 6. IONIC Ear. Shark Tank is an American TV show that allows startup businesses and entrepreneurs to pitch their ideas to a panel of wealthy investors. While many ideas have found massive success after being featured on the program, like Scrub Daddy, others have faded out of existence. One such company was marketed on season 1 of the show back in 2009, and it was called IONIC Ear. The mastermind behind the product, Darren Johnson, asked the Sharks for $1 million in exchange for 15% equity in his company. That means he was basically saying IONIC Ear was worth over $6.5 million. But what exactly was it? Johnson explained that his surgery-based Bluetooth device could be used for phone calls, listening to music, and pretty much anything regular headphones can do. The investors were shocked that every customer would have to voluntarily go through a surgical procedure just to use the product. Even if it's annoying when an earbud falls out, it's better than getting a device implanted into your head. Obviously, no one invested in the company, and it seems like IONIC Ear is no longer around today. But who knows? With things like implanted debit card chips and bodily enhancements on the rise, people might be more open to the concept in the near future. What are your thoughts on the rise in AI technology? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you like the video so far. Number 5. COUGAR Energy. During the 3rd season of Shark Tank, a young man named Ryan Custer confidently pitched his energy drink company. His product had a unique target audience: cougars. And we're not talking about the animal. Just in case you haven't heard of the term, a cougar typically refers to an older woman who is romantically interested in younger men. Ryan claimed that this demographic was incredibly underrepresented when it came to products, especially energy drinks. While he thought cougar energy drinks could hit gold, investors and critics had other ideas. For one, marketing a drink towards such a small percentage of the population is never a great idea. It narrows down your customer base and will eventually hinder profits. Another setback is how saturated the energy drink market already is. There's Red Bull, Monster Energy, Rockstars, and that's just naming a few. Even after making an appearance at the MTV Awards in 2010, it's not surprising that this business never took off. Number 4. The Pet Loo. Owning a pet comes with many challenges, but most would say the struggle is worth the reward of having a cute, furry companion to love and keep you company. For apartment dog owners, one of the biggest issues is constantly having to take your dog outside to use the restroom. It's not a problem for some, but in bigger cities with apartment complexes reaching up towards the sky, it can be a real hassle. A product called the Pet Loo was created to tackle the doggy bathroom dilemma. For people who don't have a huge lawn full of green grass for their animals to tinkle on, the Pet Loo offers an interesting fix. It's basically a small patch of synthetic turf on top of a drainage and collection system that catches the animal's waste. Owners still have to pick up their dog's poo, but at least they don't have to walk down flights of stairs or ride the elevator to do it. For urine, the product collects the waste inside a small absorbing tray that can be disposed of when necessary. Unlike most of the other business ideas we've talked about, the Pet Loo actually seems like a good one. The entire product can be hosed down or washed with water and soap to eliminate odor, and it ultimately saves people time while cutting down on doggy accidents. There's multiple sizes to accommodate everything from a teacup chihuahua to a Siberian husky. The company appears to be doing well for itself too. Their products are still currently being sold on Amazon, and they have thousands of reviews from happy customers. Number 3. Ship Snow Yo. It's incredibly strange to think that some people in the world have never seen snow in person. For those of us from colder climates, we might be a little jealous. But when the end of year comes round, almost everyone wants to experience a white Christmas. A couple from Boston, Massachusetts saw the value in spreading holiday joy and creating lasting memories, so they founded a company called Ship Snow Yo. It all started after a massive blizzard swept through their region back in 2015. Kyle Waring and his wife were literally up to their elbows in snow and were constantly spending time shoveling. That's when Waring had an idea to capture some of the icy substance in a water bottle and sell it. Before they knew it, the lovebirds were shipping hundreds of pounds of snow each day all over the country. They packaged their product in insulated containers so customers can get the best experience. Waring isn't just using the stuff from his front yard either. The company now gets so many orders that they have to collect snow in Colorado. To purchase some, you can choose from 10-pound to 50-pound boxes ranging from $69 to $350. If you choose to, you can also buy a pre-made snowman. Ship Snow Yo has served customers all over the world, with the majority of their sales coming in during the Christmas season. Number 2. Squirrel Boss. Since 2009, Michael DeSanti has sold the ultimate pest-proof bird feeder. When we say pest, in this case we're really talking about squirrels. That's right. The Squirrel Boss product aims to eliminate the issue of pesky rodents eating out of feeders by transmitting a small shock to the creature. By using a remote to administer the shocks, customers can train squirrels in their backyards to mind their own business. It also works with other smaller animals like raccoons. The shock doesn't leave a lasting scar on its victims. It basically just scares them away. When DeSanti pitched the product on Shark Tank, he had a few of the investors feel the pulse themselves. While it surprised them, they were fine in the end. Despite this, a lot of critics feel that the Squirrel Boss is cruel, with one even saying it was sadistic. Ultimately, in 2016, DeSanti had to close the doors on his shocking product after getting too many negative reviews. Number 1. Potato Parcel. In 2016, two young entrepreneurs named Alex Craig and Riyadh Beckett went on Shark Tank to promote their company and possibly team up with an investor. They were the founders of a novelty gift business called Potato Parcel. Have you ever wanted to send a special message to a loved one, but struggled with how to do it correctly? Were you also a little bit hungry while thinking of ideas? Well then, Potato Parcel is the perfect product for you. Craig and Beckett's company allows customers to send customized photos, messages, and more to anyone they want. And it's all done on a potato. It costs just $10 to buy. And for every spud bought, another is donated to a food shelter. When pitching their product, the men wore giant potato costumes to stand out. They claimed to have made over $215,000 in sales in just over a year on the market. Apparently, many of their customers were even repeat buyers. After hearing this information, the investors all seemed reasonably skeptical, but eventually, multi-millionaire Kevin O'Leary decided to invest $50,000 for 10% of the business. If you were an investor on Shark Tank, would you rather invest in a startup that aims to promote healthy eating or a startup that sells novelty gifts like the Potato Parcel? Let us know what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Bad Badger.